Hello, wonderful being. Welcome to Wheel of Wisdom, episode number 131. To tell you a little bit about me, my name is Anisha, and I am an aligned life coach who help women to uncover what they truly need to live a fulfilling and authentic life. And I also help them release any inner resistance that is stopping them from having the life that they deserve. And I do so by helping them take tiny actions every single day so that they move closer to a life that they love. So, yeah, so this is what I do. And apart from being a life coach, I am also a mindfulness meditation teacher. And I have been on Insight Timer for more than 3 years now. Hi, Caitlin. Happy to have you here. I am so glad that you were able to join in so soon. Okay, so yeah, that was a little bit about me, and I would love to know about you guys. Like, where are you from, and are you joining for the very first time, or have you been here before? Hello, Andrea. Welcome, welcome. So, so let me tell you what we do here until everyone, share in the comments something about themselves. Uh, so what we do here in these lives is we usually start these lives with a meditation on the quote that you might have seen when you opened your app, when you opened your Insight Timer app. So we meditate upon that and really let that wisdom that is in front of our eyes sink into our subconscious. And then we move on to the next part once we are more open, more centered, once our vibrations have been raised. Then we move on to receive that higher wisdom using a wheel. Okay, so we have a wheel of wisdom. And on that wheel, there are names of multiple transformational books that I have came across in my own journey of healing and personal growth. So we spin the wheel, and the universe, God, divine, source, spirit, whatever you call it, chooses a book for us from that wheel. And then we open the book and we play a game where I ask you guys to choose some numbers. And then we do a reading based on that. So I will explain each part when we get to that. But for now, are you guys ready for a meditation? Like, are you guys settled in a quiet place or wherever you want to meditate? And if you are, you can type ready in the comments to let me know, and we can begin with the meditation. Caitlin says Caitlin is joining us from Hudson Valley, New York. It is 4:33 a.m. there. I I just feel so honored that you choose to spend that time of the day with me. It means a lot, Caitlin. And she says that love your presence and sessions and ready. Okay. And I love having you here, Caitlin. And this is, I'm doing this live at a different time than my usual time, which is like 3 hours later. So yeah, I'm really excited to get to know more people, more new people. Okay. Hello, Jess. Welcome. And Jess is ready as well. Okay, then. Andrea says, I'm in the UK, first session and ready. Thank you, Andrea, for joining in. I'm glad that this was going on your screen and you were like, okay, let's check this one out. And I really hope that you receive something of value from this live today. Okay, so since most of the people present here are ready, let's begin with the meditation. So, today, the quote that we are going to meditate upon is: You heal by releasing, not suppressing. You heal by releasing, not suppressing. And this quote has been given by young Pueblo. So, I invite you all to come into a comfortable position. You can either lie down or sit up, whatever your body needs right now. As you begin to settle into this posture, you notice that your eyelids are getting heavier and heavier until they close all the way down. Your eyes now rest comfortably in their sockets, knowing that you can return to full alertness whenever you need to. You allow yourself to drift deeper and deeper into a state of complete relaxation. Allow your awareness to rest on your breath, feeling the air flowing in and out of your body. Noticing the cool air that enters your nostrils and noticing how the air gets slightly warmer as it leaves your nose. Continue to feel the air moving in and out, relaxing more and more with each exhale. Allowing your body to let go of any tension it has been holding on to. Allowing your mind to get more quieter and calmer with each passing moment. Simply resting physically and mentally. Let your body melt a little deeper into the surface beneath you. In this space, there is nothing to do, nowhere to go, just this moment, soft and slow. As you continue to rest in this stillness, allow these words to flow into your subconscious mind, not to be remembered, but to be felt. I am not falling apart. I am falling into my heart. I am not falling apart. I am falling into my heart. Healing begins when I let it in. Healing begins when I let it in. My truth deserves space, not a mask in its place. My truth deserves space, not a mask in its place. Pain moves when I let it. I don't need to forget it. Pain moves through me when I let it. I don't need to forget it. Strength is not the lack of pain, it's rising up again and again. Strength is not the lack of pain, it's rising up again and again. Feeling deep is not my fault, it's what makes me whole after all. Feeling deep is not my fault, it's what makes me whole after all. My feelings are not shame, they are a part of my flame. My feelings are not shame, they are a part of my flame. Sensitivity is my might. It turns my pain into light. Sensitivity is my might. It turns my pain into light. When I pause and release, I make more space for peace. When I pause and release, I make more space for peace. What I face with grace, I heal and replace. What I what I face with grace, I heal and replace. I trust my heart to hold the tide. I ride the waves, I do not hide. I trust my heart to hold the tide. I ride the waves, I do not hide. I am steady and whole. Emotions simply roll. I am steady and whole. Emotions just roll. I breathe through the storm and find my calm form. I breathe through the storm and find my calm form. Feeling it through is how I renew. Feeling it through is how I renew. What I ignore will stay, and what I feel can fade away. What I ignore will stay, what I feel will fade away. What I face with care loses its care. What I face with care loses its care. True peace appears when I welcome my tears. True peace appears when I welcome my tears. Time spent in release brings lasting peace. The time spent in release brings lasting peace. What feels endless today will softly fade away. What feels endless today will softly fade away. Each layer I release brings me more peace. Each layer I release brings me more peace. You did great. Now I invite you to take a deep breath in through your nose and slowly exhale through your mouth. Now that we have programmed this wisdom into our subconscious mind, it's time to return back to our body. So begin to wake up your body by bringing small movements like wiggling your toes and fingers, moving your body in whatever direction it wants to be moved. As you begin to wake up your body, allow yourself to become aware of your surroundings by feeling the air against your skin, noticing the sounds around you, and whenever you feel ready, gently opening your eyes, ready to meet the day or a peaceful night ahead of you. Welcome back to this space. If you feel like sharing your experience of this meditation, you are welcome to do that in the comments. And if you don't feel like typing yet, that's perfectly all right. And I see that some new people have joined us while we were meditating. So I welcome you all to episode number 131 of Wheel of Wisdom. And soon we are going to dive into the wisdom part, the readings that we are going to do in a very fun way. But before we dive in, I will go through the comments. And in case you guys missed the meditation or joined late, I will mention towards the end of this live as to where you can re access this meditation or live. Okay. So let's see. Hi, Rich. Happy to have you here. Thank you for joining me, even though this live is at different time than usual. Okay, Rich says, Hi, Anisha. Just joined whilst working. Thank you for spending your precious time with me, despite you having a lot of work, alongside. And Rich says, it's a lovely, calm energy to have while working. Means a lot. Okay. So, my lovely, amazing people, now let me show you guys the Wheel of Wisdom. Okay, so this is our Wheel of Wisdom, and this wheel contains the name of around of over 50 books, 50 transformational books that I have came across in my own journey of healing and personal growth. And now we are going to receive a piece of wisdom, a message from any of these books. Okay. And before we do that, I invite you guys to take a moment and set an intention to either, be open to receiving a message that is for your highest good, or if you have something specific going on in your life like a specific issue, a specific desire, a specific area of your life regarding which you would like some direction or clarity. So, whatever it is, bring that to your mind. And once you have thought of something, you can let me know by typing done in the comments or ready in the comments so that we can spin the wheel and choose the first book for today. And yes, if you cannot type, you can also press the heart somewhere here to let me know that you have thought of something, and then we can spin the wheel. Okay, thank you, Bonnie, for letting me know. And we did got a few hearts. So, okay, I'm assuming that you guys have thought of something by now. And whatever it is that you thought of, or if you just had an intention, then bring that to your mind, bring that to your awareness. And Caitlin's intention is to be open to whatever spirits wants to share with us. Lovely. Okay. So holding that intention or specific thing regarding which you would like some guidance in your awareness as we spin the wheel. Okay, so my favorite book, the book that I love most, came out for all of us. And the name of the book is Peace is Every Step: The Path of Mindfulness in Everyday Life. And this book has been written by Thich Nhat. So this is that book that in a way changed my life. So yeah, I'm excited to see what wants to come through. Okay, give me a second to just open the book and then we will play a game. So choosing some numbers for all of us. So my lovely dear people, in a moment, I am going to ask you guys to choose a number between certain numbers, okay? And I do not want you guys to rush. Instead, I want you guys to take a second and notice which number is coming up for you. So, in this way, you will tune into your intuition, your inner wisdom, and share that number in the comments. And then I will go through all the numbers that you guys share and pick a number that I am feeling, that my intuition is feeling called to. So, in this way, we will get to tap into that collective wisdom so that most of us receives the message that we need to hear most right now. So, I invite you guys to choose a number between 30 to 135. Thank you, Bonnie. Okay, Bonnie is fast. Hmm. Thank you, Caitlin. Okay, a lot of like 31 coming up. Thank you, Deborah. Thank you, Kim. Anyone else who would like to choose a number? Thank you, Anna. Okay, Anna and Deborah chose the same number. Interesting. I love that your energy is aligning. Okay, thank you, Jess. Okay, so seems like everyone who wanted to share a number has shared it in the comments. And I'm feeling like, okay, let's go with the number that was chosen twice. So yeah, let's go with that. So I'm going to open the page 76 as chosen by Anna and Deborah. Thank you. And as I was reading these books, I actually highlighted the insightful paragraphs or transformative exercises from these books. So we're going to open this page and see which is the highlighted text, which is the thing that wants to come through for all of us. So, page number 76. So, the heading for this is The Roots of Anger. And the author says anger is rooted in our lack of understanding of ourselves and of the causes, deep seated as well as immediate causes, that brought about this unpleasant state of affairs. Anger, the primary roots of our anger are in ourselves. Our environment and other people are only secondary. It is not difficult for us to accept the enormous damage brought about by a natural disaster, such as an earthquake or flood. But when damage is caused by another person, we don't have much patience. We know that earthquakes and floods have causes. And we should see that the person who has precipitated our anger also has reasons, deep seated and immediate, for what he or she has done. For instance, someone who speaks badly to us may have been spoken to in exactly the same way just a few moments before. Or he or she has been spoken in that exact same way by his alcoholic father when he was a child. When we see and understand these kind of causes, we begin we can begin to be free from our anger. I'm not saying that someone who viciously attacks us should not be disciplined, but what is most important is that we first take care of the seeds of negativity in ourselves. And then if someone needs to be helped or disciplined, we will do so out of compassion, not anger and retribution. If we genuinely try to understand the suffering of another person, we are more likely to act in a way that will help him overcome his suffering and confusion, and that will help all of us. So, what was coming up for me from that reading, was that the intention behind how we respond when we have, received that anger from someone. If we are just to, if we are acting out of that hurt and anger ourselves, then it is just going to, create more of that, create more of those unpleasant sensations in them, in us, and in everyone around us, or in the energy field as well. But if we truly try to understand that, if, whenever we receive anger or whenever we are angry at someone, if we really try to think of all the factors that might have caused it, whether these factors are immediate, for example, um, they were having a bad day, they were with others, and they want to show themselves as stronger, as smarter, whatever it was. Or it can be very deep rooted, based on what has happened to that the person in their past, whatever they have faced, whatever. Deborah says, "Thank you, Anisha. Thich Nhat Hanh is my favorite author. It is, he is mine as well. I have so many books from, from him on this very wheel as well. And I'm glad that, this reading resonated to some extent with you, Deborah, especially since we chose your number and Anna's number as well. And I would love to know, Anna, if this resonated with you or not, or what came up for you as you were listening to it. And not just both of you, but anyone else also. You guys can share, if it resonated with you and if something is coming up for you from this reading. Hi, Sumit. Welcome. Happy to have you here again. Um, yeah, so we just finished the first reading and we will move on to the next reading very soon. Deborah says it resonated with an old part of me, but I needed to hear it again. Yeah, it's always nice to, get those reminders so that we can live more intentionally, more consciously. And I'm glad that that has become an older part of you, that has become an older and maybe an unused pattern. And this can also be very helpful if, you are focusing on forgiving, whether it is forgiving others or yourself, because when we focus on the causes, the factors that might have led to that person being this way, to us being this way, to that person behaving in that manner at that moment, or, you know, for us to behave in that manner in that exact moment, then instead of, breeding anger, it actually evokes compassion within us. And that hurt, that suffering transforms into something beautiful, transforms into, that energy of love and compassion and care. And then it doesn't mean that we keep on taking that anger, we keep on, we do nothing about their behavior or their words. We need to have our boundary so that we can protect ourselves, and we can also, express some things, or, just make sure that it doesn't keep on happening to us or to anyone, but mainly us, because we cannot control other person's behavior. So for that, we take any action, we respond in any manner, but the intention, the feeling behind it is understanding and compassion. Compassion for not just the other person when we consider all the factors, all the causes, but for all, also for ourselves, that I do not deserve to be treated in that manner. I do not deserve to, receive those harsh words. And from that feeling of compassion for ourselves, for the hurt that I'm feeling, and compassion for that other person because of the pain that he or she is carrying, that he or she is imitating in the world around them. And that can lead to something beautiful from a very painful moment. So, yeah, that is all that came up for me. And if anyone else wants to share anything, you guys can do so related to that reading. And if you guys found it helpful, you are welcome to, help me keep doing these lives, by making a donation if you feel called to. And if not, then that's perfectly okay as well. Now, moving on to the next reading. Okay, give me a second to open the wheel. So, anyone new, if joined us. So, if anyone new joined us while we were reading that, while we were discussing, then I invite you guys to take a second and, bring to your mind anything specific that you would like to receive some guidance on. A specific issue, a specific area of your life, a specific desire, whatever it is that you want some guidance on. And if not, then set an intention to receive, the message, the guidance that is for your highest good. And now, holding that in your mind as we spin the wheel again. A lot of books today are coming related to mindfulness. The previous one was also related to that, but yeah, we didn't got the exact reading on mindfulness. But this one says mindfulness on the go. Discover how to be mindful wherever you are. And this book has been written by Anna Black. So let's see what this beautiful book has to offer us. And hmm, and I'm pretty sure it might be an exercise because as far as I remember, there were usually exercises in this book. So yeah, I'm hoping that we will get to spend a mindful moment together. So yeah, I'm just choosing some numbers and then we will play a game. Okay. We have another comment by Caitlin. Caitlin says, I have grown so much in my relationship with anger. So when I hear stuff about it now, it's like, okay, yes, I know. But it is a good reminder that we are all on different legs of our journey. Also, don't make assumptions and lead with love. Exactly, That is the kind of an affirmation that we can carry away from that reading, that don't make assumptions and lead with love. That is like the essence. And I get that, Caitlin, when we work upon some things or when we have read or heard about them a lot, we're like, yeah, I know that. And that self comes up, that is like, okay, I know this. But as you mentioned, that it is helpful to be reminded of that thing again, and to also see that how much growth I have made in my own life in relation to this area. So these reminders can help us stay on the track as well as to look back on how far we have come. And now I'm like, okay, I know that. And it was a hard journey for me. And I'm so glad that I am here now, that I can see this, that yeah, I already know that. Because for that lesson to become a part of our life, it took a lot. So yeah, thank you for sharing that, Caitlin. And now for the next reading, I invite you guys to choose a number between 30 to 156. And no need to rush, just to pick a number that you're feeling called to at your own time, because I will pick randomly. Thank you, Sumit, Caitlin. Anyone else who would like to share a number? Thank you, Jess. Okay, so we have like three numbers. So, yeah, anyone else? Otherwise, we will go with these three. Mm. Thank you, Shari. It's okay, it's like a game. So, and it is also, why I do this is not just for fun, it actually helps us develop this connection with our intuition, because the more we practice it, the more, we also start trusting it, and the more easily accessible it becomes when we need that inner guidance. So, yeah, that's why we do this. So, yeah, if anyone feels called to share a number, you can do so. Otherwise, I'm going with these four numbers that you guys have showed. Okay, let's see. Okay, so the number that I'm feeling called to is 22. And I know I mentioned 30, but I think there is something on 22, because I think I mistyped it as 30 instead of, 20. So let's see. Yeah, there is. Okay. So yeah, let's go with 22. And the number has been chosen by Shari for all of us. Thank you. Okay, let's see. Yeah, so the heading of this chapter is how mindfulness can help. And one of the things that is mentioned here is sensory awareness. So the author says when we pay attention to our experience, we become more aware of the senses. That is the sense of taste, smell, touch, sound, sight, as well as making daily life richer. This can have a major impact on the food we eat. So, up until now, When we, start to practice mindfulness, which is basically becoming aware of what is happening right now, then we become more connected with our senses. We become, it's like we were watching a black and white movie and suddenly, colors were added to it. So that is the kind of feeling that we have when we live more mindfully, because you are aware of every single sense that is happening right now. For example, like right now, the air that might be against your skin, or the clothes that you might feel on your skin, or the sounds around you. So it's like the reality, this particular moment becomes so vibrant and rich and like lifelike. We feel alive in this moment when we practice mindfulness. So if you are feeling like I'm going through life and it is like, man, it is flat, it is monotonous and all of that, then you might want to, start practicing mindfulness. And if you want to know how exactly, then I also have like a resource. I have created a course related to that that will help you um find beauty, wonder, or this peace that is accessible right now in this very moment in your current life without having to change anything. So that happens if you want to feel more alive, then you can do so when you do not have to change anything. You just need to become more aware of what already is here. So that was the first line. Then moving on to the whole paragraph. So, yeah, so the author says that, for example, if we do a daily activity, for example, eating mindfully, then we savor each mouthful, exploring texture and noticing aromas and tastes. And the experience it is made richer because of it. Similarly, if the food we are eating is processed, then we will notice how it actually tastes rather than just swallowing it without awareness. Because if you have this habit of binge eating or emotional eating, then you're not really tasting the food, you're just filling that void within yourself and just shoving those feelings down with food. So when we become aware of, what we are eating and really, really taste it, then we see that it is not that tasty, or sometimes it is, and you get to enjoy it fully. Because, I was reading a book on mindful eating, and they did like a research on it or an experiment. And in that, one of the participants reported that when I ate chocolate in this manner, becoming fully aware of its taste, then it like tasted like a cardboard or something. So, so it might not taste that severe for you, but it is worth a try. Try eating processed food mindfully versus eating nature food, for example, a fruit or like a dry fruit, for example, a raisin, and see the difference, and also see the difference from how you usually eat it. And you will see that how the simple activity can actually bring you peace, how the simple activity can actually make you feel alive, and how tasty that food becomes just by bringing awareness to it rather than eating while you're using your phone or, watching TV. So, yeah, so this may influence the choices we make forward. When we eat more slowly and are attuned to the body, we pick up physical cues when we had enough. That is another thing, that sometimes we keep on eating and we don't realize it. That's why we overeat, because it actually takes some time for a signal to reach your brain from your stomach that I am full. And that is why in certain cultures it is said that, eat until you are 80% full. Because when you get that signal that I'm 80% full, maybe you have become 100% full, but the signal to your brain is taking time to reach that, yeah, I am full now. So, So when we eat slowly, you might realize that actually the amount of food that you eat reduces automatically and you feel full while eating less. So that is also another thing that happens when you eat mindfully. So mindfulness brings unconscious behaviors such as reaching for another cookie or an extra glass of wine into our awareness so we can make a choice about what we really want rather than operating with our automatic habit. Like I have this habit, I had this habit a lot. Dominantly, that when I watch TV, I feel like I'm doing nothing. So I grab onto something to eat, to munch on. So it feels like I'm doing something. I'm not just wasting time, but I'm doing something. So when we bring awareness, then we realize that do I really need to eat? Am I feeling hungry in this moment? And if I want to, then do I want to eat this? Do I want to eat salty or sweet? And do you want to go for a processed food or a natural one? So even though if you go for a processed food, then also it is that you are making that choice consciously. You are listening to your body, you are listening to whatever is happening within, and then making a choice. And that is what conscious living is about. It's not about, or healthy living is about, it's not about just doing every single thing that is healthy and not engaging in any old unhelpful patterns or anything, because they have been there for a while and they are going to stay. So do not put that pressure or unrealistic expectation on yourselves, because when you are not able to do the healthy things, then you feel guilty. So instead of, starting with bringing consciousness, bringing awareness to your already existing patterns. And when you see, sometimes you automatically change them on your own when you are aware of them. So yeah, awareness gives you that choice, and awareness enriches your current life as it is. So these were the 2 points that came for me from that reading. And if you guys have, ever experienced that, if you have ever practiced mindful eating, or if you have ever noticed that your life feels more rich, or you feel more alive, or some other experience of practicing mindfulness, then you're welcome to share that in the comments with others so they feel like, yeah, I want to give this a try. And I would love to know, Shari, that did it resonated with you? That something came out from this reading or from whatever I shared, uh, you know, that you needed at this moment. Thank you for all the hearts. They encourage me to keep speaking and keep doing these. So I guess there is time for one more reading. We can do one more reading, uh, you know. But first, let me take a sip of water. Thank you for all the lovely hearts that flowed in. And Shari says, yes, thank you. Oh, I am so happy to hear that. So every time you confirms, that the reading resonated, it builds my trust in my own intuition as well. So I am grateful, to know that. And Shari says, it landed just lovely in my heart. Love that. Okay. And in case you guys would like to share, you know, if you guys would like me to share more resources regarding, living more mindfully and stuff like that, because I've created, I guess, 2, 3 more resources that might help you to live more intentionally, to live more consciously, then you can mention that in the comments and I will share, some resources regarding that if you need them. And until then, let me open the wheel and see. Okay. So, I see that some more new people have joined. So, before we spin the wheel, I invite you all again that bring to your mind if you need to receive some guidance on on something specific, like a specific issue, a specific desire, a specific area of your life. And if nothing in specific is coming to your mind, then simply set an intention that may I receive something, may I receive some guidance that is for my highest good. And holding that, whatever you guys have thought of in your mind as I spin this wheel. Okay, I love that. Shari just shared that it landed lovely, in her heart. And this book that came up, the last book for today is Living with Your Heart Wide Open by Steve Flowers and Bob Stahl. So let's see what wants to come through that will help us to live with our heart, with the open heart. Okay. Hmm. So the subheading for this book is How Mindfulness and Compassion Can Free You from Unworthiness, Inadequacy, and Shame. So give me a second to choose some numbers for us and then we will do a reading. Okay, my lovely buns. Yeah, okay. So I invite you guys to take a moment to tune into your intuition and choose a number between 21 to 161. Again, no rush, take your time. I will choose a number randomly out of those. Okay. Thank you, Steph. Thank you, Jeffrey. You guys' numbers are like pretty close, Steph and Jeffrey's. Anyone else who would like to share a number? Okay, then let's go with the ones that came up for us. So, let me see which one to choose. They are pretty close. Okay. So the number that I'm feeling most called to among these is 86, and the number has been chosen by Jeffrey for all of us. Thank you, Jeffrey. Okay, let's see what wants to come through from page number 86. Okay. So it is like an exercise that came up, and the heading for it is aware. Just what we talked about. And I think it would give you a better idea of how awareness can impact your life. So, so the author has shared an effective way to work with your self stories, your mental stories, your thoughts, whatever story that you're telling yourself about your specific circumstance. And the author has summarized that whole process into the acronym, which is AWARE, which stands for allow, witness, acknowledge, release, and ease up. So, this is the whole process to deal with your mental stories regarding your specific situation, which is again aware, allow, witness, acknowledge, release, and ease up. So, the full form of these is allow all of your thoughts and feelings to come and go as they will. Witness the narrative with which you construct your sense of self. So, whatever you believe, you're believing in that moment, okay? Then acknowledge what you experience happening in stories you tell about yourself. So, the feelings that you're having in that moment. Release the self concepts that you have fabricated with these old stories and concepts. So, letting go of any limiting belief that you're holding on to in that particular situation. And then ease up and emerge from this trance of unworthiness. So, basically, whatever story that you have told to yourself, so like trance of unworthiness, and Tara Brach is another teacher who used like this term, which is basically, when you are really hooked to the stories that your mind is telling you, when your mind is saying things like, you are not enough, you don't deserve to be happy, and all of those, um, really, those things that make you feel like you are unworthy in some way. So these are the, 5 steps. And let me read them a little bit from each so that you get a more clear idea of what to do. So the first step is allow all of your thoughts and feelings to come and go as they will. This will help you soften your reactions to whatever comes up for you in the space of mindful awareness. Kyle says, "You are so active, Mush." Mm, I didn't get the clear meaning of that. So yeah, I'm going to go search it and then respond to that one. Okay. Mm, uh, yes, English is not my first language, so I would have to search on that, Kyle. Uh, yeah, so what was I saying? So the first step is okay, so when you are facing a difficult situation, in the aware acronym, the first step is allow. So allow whatever is happening instead of resisting it, instead of not accepting it, instead of saying that it shouldn't be this way, I shouldn't be feeling this way, this shouldn't be happening, this is not going to my plan, and all of that, bringing resistance in whatever form that you bring. Instead of that, try allowing it, try being, that, okay, this is happening right now. Okay, I'm feeling this way. Okay, I planned that, but now this is happening. So, allowing whatever is happening to happen because it is already happening. You are just adding more suffering when you try to resist whatever is happening. And it seems simple, but it feels harder when we are stuck in that situation. But maybe give it a try because, give yourself permission to allow that to happen. Not because you like it, but because it is happening right now. And so for the thoughts, for like going specific on the thoughts that you're having in that situation. So, allowing enables you to recognize that a thought is just a thought. It is just a story, that your mind is telling you. It is just a mental concept. It is just a product of your mind. And whether you like it or not, it is happening. This thought has dropped in your head. The story is going on in your head right now. And it is what it is right now. That is the first step to allow. And if you do struggle with that, I'm going to like pop here a course of mine that might help you in doing that. help you recognize how you resist in your particular way, in your situation, how you are resisting, and whether it is serving you or not, and how to process it and, move forward from it. So, yeah, if you want like a step by step process, especially if you're going through a difficult situation, you can check that course out. So, yeah, so that was the first step, to allow all of your thoughts and feelings, basically the internal experience that you're having to that situation. So, allow that to happen, allow that to arise within you and go whenever it wants to leave. Then the second step is witness the narrative with which you construct your sense of self. So sometimes you are the one who has acted. I did dash, I should have done dash, I shouldn't have done dash. I wish I could have, dash. Sometimes you are the one who has been acted upon. So the earlier thoughts that I mentioned are when you have, done a certain behavior and you are like, I shouldn't have done that, or I shouldn't have said that, or I should have said that. I was thinking of that, and why didn't I say that at that moment? So that are those are the kind of thoughts that you might have if you are the one who is doing the behavior. And if you are on the receiving end of a behavior, then you might have thoughts like, somebody did this or that to me, everyone ignores me, people always do this, or no one ever do this. So either way, it drones on and on as long as you indulge it. From that perspective of mindful awareness, you can witness the habitual ways your mind creates the narrative based self without identifying with them. Witnessing is curious and non judging, it doesn't cling or avoid anything. So basically, just it's like watching a show. It's like sitting back and watching the show that your mind is running and seeing that, okay, this is the way in which I usually think. That makes me angry, that makes me feel sad, that makes me feel lonely, disappointed, whatever it is. So just witnessing them like you watch a movie. So you are sitting in your seat of awareness, and this movie is going on in in the screen, on the screen of your mind, on the screen of your mind, and you're like, okay, I'm having this thought, this thought, this thought, so you are just watching it. And it is not a judgmental thought that, okay, this is not a nice thought. This is a really spiritual thought. It's not that. We do not need to attach a judgment. We do not, you know, we are not going after a thought that feels nice, that is nice, and we are not going, away from a thought that is not pleasant, that is not positive, you know. So we are not doing either of those. We are simply witnessing. That is the second step. So first step was allow your internal experience, whatever is happening within you when you are in the situation. The second step is to witness that, okay, I have this thought, this story, this. Okay. The third step is acknowledge what you experience happening in stories you tell about yourself. So, so noticing, you can use simple words, simple labels to acknowledge your experience, like high anxiety, high sadness, or I'm feeling anxious, I'm feeling sad, you know, um, there is an emotion of disappointment within me. So, acknowledging them, just like you acknowledge when a person enters a room, or when you enter a communication or a group, you're like, okay, hi, I am this, and hi, you are this. So, you are acknowledging it, you are naming it, so that it becomes more clear that you are this and there is this emotion. And that emotion, that part of you that wants your attention, also gets it. That part of you is like, okay, finally she's paying or he's paying attention to me. Just like that, you acknowledge it. And it's nice to feel acknowledged, right? So our parts also deserves that. So that is the third step. Um, then comes releasing the self concepts that you have fabricated with these old stories and concepts. So the author says, disidentify from your habitual and familiar ways of thinking of yourselves, because fame, shame, loss, gain, pleasure, and pain are all transient experiences, not attributes of self. So, for example, if you identify as, I'm an anxious person, I am, this or that kind of a person, then recognize that these are impermanent experiences, that you are not always that way. It's not like that every single moment of the day, every single time you are, embodying those, feelings, those qualities, those characteristics. So you are much more, you are, you know, um, what is that saying? That you are more than the sum of these parts, you are more than that. So, um, so yeah, stop identifying with whatever story that is going on in your head. Because when you identify with it, whether it is an emotion, whether it is something else, when you identify, when you believe that this is who I am, if you identify with a behavior, for example, I am a procrastinator, if you identify with a feeling, for example, I'm anxious, then it is like, it becomes a fight then, because you don't want to feel that way, you don't want to do those things, but yet this is who you are. So it's like you want to kill a part of yourselves, and your psyche won't allow you to do that because, it is like a loss. Your psyche don't want that. So that is why it feels so harder sometimes. So let go of any of those identities. So yeah, that was our second last step. And another resource that popped in my head regarding that is, if you want to actually become aware of all the labels you have attached to yourself, all the limiting beliefs that you hold about yourself that might be hidden in your subconscious but still are running your life. So, in that case, you can check out this particular course of mine, because I've included every single technique that I know of to, uncover the veil from your beliefs, from your limiting beliefs that are causing all this trouble in your life, that are causing, all these different self sabotaging behaviors, for example, that are stopping you from reaching towards whatever it is that you want. So, if you want to uncover what you believe about yourself that might be a hindrance to what you want, then you can check out this course. And the final step in this is ease up and emerge from this trance of unworthiness. So, when you are stuck in a self concept of inadequacy or unworthiness, a great deal of your self talk involves comments about how you are doing, looking, or performing. And so much of this inner dialogue calls forth comparisons to others and judgments about yourself. This is neither necessary nor skillful, and it is never fun. Everything isn't about you. Plus, when you are caught up in thoughts about yourself, you are missing what is actually happening in each irreplaceable moment of your life. So, wake up from this trance of unworthiness. Wake up from all the stories that you have been telling about yourself. Wake up from this mind made reality, get out from this mind made prison and meet the reality as it is. Because you do not need to make meaning out of everything that this happened. So, what does that mean about me, or what does that mean about other people? Our mind is a meaning making machine. It is always interpreting things, and that's how we got these beliefs in the first place, because something happened to us and we tried to figure out why this happened, you know. And a common example that I give is that, for example, um, when parents are going through divorce, sometimes the child takes on this belief that it is happening because, it is happening because of me, because why that happens is because when we are a child, our brain is not, our cognitive abilities are not developed yet, and we try to understand the whole world based on us, and everything links back to us. And that is why we end up, um, making these conclusions that do not make so much sense as an adult. But when we were a child, we were understanding the world through us, in relation to us. And that is why we have so many limiting beliefs within ourselves, that do not make logical sense sometimes. And that is what the author is also saying. Like right now, also, even though our brain is developed now, but still, we try to understand every situation based on us, that if this happened, does this mean, what does this mean about me? And our brain is always like, someone who is watching us all the time, like a CCTV camera fit, and that also speaks. So every time we do something, they are like, our brain is like, you shouldn't be doing this, you shouldn't be doing this, or you should be doing that, or you are not doing enough. Um, or what the author mentioned, like, let me see, thinking, yeah, and looking, you know, like you look ugly, or you look fat, or you look this, you look that, So this commentary is going on in our head, judging every single act, every single thought, every single feeling, every single, what else is left? Every single, thing about us. Um, so ease up and let go of this whole story and accept that not everything is about you. Okay, so we have some comments. Let me go to that. Vineet says, yes, so relatable. My son is thinking that I wish to contact you. That is hard, to see someone that you love believing that about themselves, believing something um, that causes them pain about themselves. And I will share towards the end, how you can connect with me if you want to. But I'm sending you a lot of warmth, and I hope that you're able to communicate or make them feel like they are, that, your son is valuable, that you love him as he is, and he is not the reason for what is happening. And the book that I am, referring to, Vineet, is Living with a Wide Open Heart. And I will share the name of the books and this exact reading, in my group, which is Wonderful Beings. Okay, so I will share a summary of everything there. So in case you missed it, you can catch on to that. Um, Vineet says he has a lot of fearful thoughts, but I'm helping him through anxiety. Helping Your Anxious Child book is helpful. Yeah, I have heard about it, and I'm glad that it is helpful. I will check that out. That what all what all is mentioned there. And it is difficult to see a loved one in any kind of suffering, whether it is physical or emotional. And I'm glad that you're there for him, and that, you know, you can feel your loving presence in that. And I hope that he finds, some peace, some ease, and some belief in himself very soon. Okay, so I guess that was the last reading for today. We are towards the end of time. It is going to be 1 hour, 30 minutes soon. And before I end the live, I would like to share some more things about you so that you know where you guys can find all of my offerings. And before even that, I would like to share where you can find this particular live in case you missed it, or in case you want to revisit our meditation, which was on today's Insight Timer quote. That was we heal by releasing, not suppressing. So where you can find this live and revisit, everything that we did here is you can go to my profile, which is Anisha Maheshwari, and you can go to the about section there. Usually the home section opens up and you visit the teacher's profile, but you need to go to this about section. And when you scroll all the way down here, you will find something that will, lead you directly to this particular live, as well as all the lives that we have done in this series of Wheel of Wisdom. So I hope that that would be helpful, especially in case you want to revisit the meditation. And if you just want to get a hold of the readings that we did, then you can catch on to the summary that I share in my group, which is Wonderful Beings. And you can find that group by going to my profile on the home page. When you scroll all the way down, there towards the end, you will see here. So, this is my little community, and here, within 5 or 10 minutes of this live ending, I will share the summary, including the title of the meditation, the name of the books, as well as the readings that we did. So you guys catch up on everything. And I also update some other things there. So yeah, you can, catch up onto them. And okay, we have some comments. Let me go through them first. Vineet says, yes, he has limited time with me, so I am in code working to get more time. Yes, hopefully soon. Mine doesn't show up that way. I didn't get what doesn't show up, that way. Vinay, what do you mean by mine doesn't show up that way? Okay. Okay, I don't think the app shows up the way you have shown. Um, okay, so are you on the app? The website version would be different, but it should show up like the same. Okay. It only shows us a brief bio. Hmm. So, like when you maybe go to read more, or when so there must be an about section like this, right? Like this. And then there might be some bio here, something about me, right? Okay, there are no links. No. Okay. That shouldn't be the case, I think. But usually, like towards the end, there is a link tree or something. Um, Maybe what you can do is you can check the website version, like you can type inside timer there. And in the search box, you can type my name, and there it will show like view profile. And there you will find it towards the very bottom, a link tree. So in that link, like there are all of my other offerings. It should show like that. I'm not sure. Is it the same for you guys? Like, can you guys also not see the link tree, the link in the about section of my profile? Uh, you know, can anyone check and let me know? Um, you can let me know in the group, or you can let me know right now if you feel like helping me out. Because it shouldn't be that way, I think. Maybe maybe I registered there as a therapist, so since that it changed. Earlier it used to show. Hmm. Okay, anyways, I would appreciate if any one of you guys, can maybe check it and let me know in the group, because I think the messages got off. Like I cannot message you and you cannot message me since I registered as a therapist on Insight Timer. But yeah, that link should have shown. Okay, I will check it. Anyways, okay, anyways, yeah. Um, hmm, what was I saying? Okay, so about my other offerings. Uh, yeah, so I will take the next 5 minutes or so to share with you all the other things that I offer. And why I do so is because, I want you to know that these are the resources that are available. And if this is what you need right now in your life, then you can directly go to them. Okay, so, and if just says right now, uh, everything related to life right now. Thank you for sharing all of these positive words. I am I'm glad, Jess, that it resonated with you, that all of these readings and everything resonated with you. It means a lot. Thank you. You're welcome, Matt. Yeah, so anyone who is a regular and who have stayed till the end and knows about all of the things that I offer, then if you guys want to say goodbye, you can say so and you can, um, leave this live space and you can join me day after tomorrow when I have another live. Um, and for those of you who have joined for the very first time, who are new to this place, then I want to share some of the things that I have created for you. So, there are usually three places where you can find all of my offerings. The first place is you can again go to my profile, whether on the app or, on the website version of Insight Timer. In the home section, when you scroll down, you will see at the bottom, just above the group that I shared, which is Wonderful Beings, you will see a playlist section. Okay. So, in this section, I have organized all of my meditations, all of my tracks and talks into these four playlists. Okay. So, you can check them out. The first one is related to mindfulness. If you want to develop a meditation habit, and if you want to live more mindfully, because we did talked about a lot of benefits of living mindfully, cultivating mindfulness. So if you want that, you can check that out. And the second playlist that I have is nervous system regulation techniques. So if you are feeling emotionally overwhelmed, or if you're feeling that I cannot tolerate whatever I'm feeling right now, then you can try all of these techniques and choose, pick one that is your favorite and use that every time when you feel that way emotionally overwhelmed, so that you feel more centered, grounded, or more regulated in that manner. The third playlist that I have here is for negative thoughts and limiting beliefs. So we did talked about how, we believe certain things about ourselves, that we are inadequate, unworthy, and everything. So I have created some short tracks related to some common beliefs like there is something wrong with me, I'm not good enough, I'm too broken to heal, what if I make the wrong decisions. So things like that. So if you relate to any of them, you can check out this playlist or save it because I will add more here. And the final playlist that I have for you is Wheel of Wisdom Pick a Meditation. So, if you want to continue the fun game that we played here, and if you want to develop this connection with your inner wisdom, with your intuition, then you can check out this playlist and check out the instructions for the game here because it would help you find the right guidance for that particular day, whatever you are going through on that day. This is the first place, the playlist section where you can find all of my resources. The second section is the courses section. This is the second place where you can find all of the things that I offer. So I have created like 7 courses here, and I will share them here very quickly so that you know what they're about, and in case you are interested, you can check them out. So I have this course which helps you learn about all the common ways of thinking that causes us suffering, that are unhelpful, and they are not just any random ways of thinking. They are based upon 2 therapeutic approaches. So you can learn about and see, do I have any of them, and if so, which ones, because most of the people have them. So yeah, which ones, what are my top 3, so that you become aware of them when they get activated. And then I also have some specific, strategies or techniques to counter those particular thinking patterns. So yeah, if you deal with negative thinking, then you might want to check them out. Then I also have this course which takes you through a step by step, cognitive behavior therapy based approach, including techniques from that approach to help you deal with your negative thoughts, and do the whole process where you are able to catch your thoughts, apply the strategies, and, come up with a more helpful way of thinking and all of that. So, yeah, if you want to check that out, you can try this course as well. These two are my most popular courses with over like, I think one has over 2000 students and one has over 4001, near 4000, yeah. So like most of the peoples have found them useful. That is why I'm sharing that. So I hope that you do too. I already shared this course around limiting belief. If you want to learn what are the beliefs that you hold about yourself that are not serving you, that are, not letting you get what you want in life, then you can check out this course. Then I have a course related to how to live more mindfully. So live more consciously with more awareness, and this awareness is going to help you make conscious choices that would lead to a healthy life, because we need mindfulness at that moment when we are feeling triggered, when we are going to engage in that unhealthy habit, and then make a choice that is beneficial to us. So this course is going to help you do that. Oh, there are 108 people here today, right now. Beautiful. Okay. Hmm. Going back to the other resource, which is this. And if you have this kind of mindset, or if you believe that once I get this thing that I really want, which, is in the future, then I would be happy. Once I get this, then I would be peaceful. Then everything would be okay. Then my life will fall into place and everything. So if you have this kind of a thinking, then I would invite you to check out this course. This is my shortest course so far, and it will help you reflect that whether it is serving you or not, and what is an alternative way to, be. So, yeah, you can check that out. So, these are all the courses I already shared. I already shared two more courses that I have left out with you related to acceptance and, finding joy and beauty in your life right now, feeling more alive right now. So, this was the course that I already shared in case you just joined, and the course related to accepting and processing and moving on from a difficult situation. That course is this one. Okay. G says, can I ask what is your microphone? It's really good. I'm glad that, you like the setting. Technical stuff is pretty hectic for me. But yeah, the name of the microphone is Eligato Wave 1. But I think they have like more advanced series now, Wave 3 or something. Yeah, so you might want to check them out. And there is also a software with it that is going with it, that is making it more clearer. Okay, you're welcome, G. So, yeah, so this was the second place where you can find all of my resources. First was the playlist section, second was the courses section on my profile. And the final section is, as I mentioned, which I hope is visible for you guys, is the about section. So you will see a little bio of mine, and then towards the end, you will see a link tree here. And this will lead you to all my other offerings. So if none of the things that I shared with you is helpful with your current situation, then in that case, you can, there is a way to work more personally with me, in a session. And you can do that by, checking here, and you will find all the details here as well. And you will also find some more things here, like additional gifts, this whole live and the previous live in the series, and and also about me, like my whole journey. So yeah, you will find a lot more things here as well. So this is all that I offer, and I thank you for listening to me so patiently as I share all of them. I so appreciate that. And I so appreciate your presence, you spending your valuable time with me. It means a lot. So, yeah, I guess it's time to say goodbye. And this is all that I had for this live today. Um, Yeah. So I bow down to the divine within you all. Namaste. I will see you day after tomorrow in my next live. It is not yet published, but you will find that here, like in the events section, it would appear below this. It is not yet published. So, yeah, I hope to see each and every one of you here. I hope that you find this helpful. And if you guys got any value out of this live today, then, and if you would like to support me and keep these live going, if you would like to make a contribution so I can create a lot more free resources, because I have I have a lot more free meditations. It is going to soon touch like 100 free meditations and some other free offerings as well. So yeah, your donations help me keep them going. They help me keep them alive. So yeah, if you're feeling generous, if you're feeling touched by this live in any manner, you are welcome to support me in this manner. And if not, then that's all right as well. I appreciate your presence just as much. Okay. So, bye bye. Take care. I will see you day after tomorrow.